Good evening and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bluddworth, and as you can see by the graphics, tonight's video is a box opening of Call of Cthulhu Classic, the 2-inch box set. This is a recent Kickstarter, like a very recent Kickstarter, which the turnaround on actually receiving this box set has been phenomenally quick. I don't even think I purchased this more than a month ago. So really shocking how fast this has actually arrived. So it was $120. It comes with 7 books. And the reason why I jumped on this as quickly as I did was because this is the Call of Cthulhu that I played back in the early 1980s. This was the one that, that we ran. I alternated with our other game master, Adam, with Call of Cthulhu. And so this was probably one of my earliest experiences GMing for any tabletop role-playing game. So really excited to see this come out. Really love the fact that it is a reprint of the originals, and rather than finding the original box set and paying probably $100 or so for just Call of Cthulhu and the initial books, to get all 7 of these books in here along with it was really a steal. And so it doesn't matter to me that it's new, it just matters to me that I have it. And so let's start digging into this 2-inch box set, and I will switch views so we get a wider screen here. Please disregard the mess. We just got back from vacation, so here we are. Nice sturdy heavy box. What is in the box? So basically an explanation. So we have the this is the 40th anniversary edition, and it is so it has the Call of Cthulhu rulebook. It has the source book for the 1920s. It has the world map. It has the Arkham map. We've also packed a special 40th anniversary set of 9 dice, a D20, a D12, 2 D10s, 1 D8, 3 D6, and 1 D4. Cool. Sufficient to play Call of Cthulhu. If you're unfamiliar with the interesting shapes, an introductory chapter of Call of Cthulhu explains the use as well. All right, so there's a size comparison chart which came with the original box set. The character silhouettes can be cut apart and used to show position of the investigators and the minions on the thing, and a keeper screen containing several useful rules and so on. So that's what we have there. We have a character sheet. So here we have the character sheet, personal history and notes on the back. These actually got bent a little bit, but I am definitely playing this, at some point. So I will run off copies of the character sheets, and I'm definitely going to play this here. So this is the classic edition of Call of Cthulhu, and I will do a breakdown of each of the components in separate videos and kind of do a run through. So this is going to play differently in some aspects to like 7th edition if you have the most current version of Call of Cthulhu. And for a combination of nostalgia of this is the version that I played when it first came out, and just the fact that I like older, old school role-playing games. I like the feel of them, the essence of them, and in many cases the dice mechanics of them as well. So I'm really looking forward to this. It's nice, solid construction. Soft cover, obviously. So this is the 2nd edition. So 1981. and so that's around the time that I picked it up. So I wasn't aware of Call of Cthulhu, the first edition. So this is the edition that we actually played. So I will put that in here. Actually, let me put everything back the way it was so that I can just simply flip over. So this is the source book of the 1920s, and you have here a dirigible or a Zeppelin on the cover. And then the source book of the 1920s, it gives you a timeline, a calendar for the 1920s, Ilf, Nigeria, and Skara Brae, biographies, companies, crime, so about arrests and bribery, on cultists, naval skills, previous experience, example, Evan Stone, railroad coaches, travel, prices, cash, weapons of the day, and beasts and monsters. So I'm really looking forward to doing, looking through this. And many of these things you can actually transport into other games that you might want to. So it's a 1920s source book. I mean, I've played Gangbusters, and you could probably transfer 1920s Gangbusters, into this and vice versa as well. So pretty cool stuff. So we have so now that was the original box set. Let me set aside the books that are going to be the extras. And let's get to the comparison map. So here's the dice. I really like the color of these dice. They're like a dark burgundy with like a metallic, like internally like a metallic, and then just, very dark on the side. Gold numbers. I really like this set. It's a really nice set of dice. Yeah, that's cool. So this is this is a map. All right, so here's the map of Arkham. And I will roll this out here. Ooh. And it's a fairly large map. So there's the map of Arkham. I'm probably holding it upside down. No, it goes this way. So fairly large map. And then you have the world map with several locations and such here. So we will try to fold out. I folded it up pretty quickly. All right, here is the size comparison. So let's see. Let's see how Cthulhu compares to a human. So you can see there is the Great Cthulhu there, and next, so humans next to him, you can see the size comparison chart of many of these things, these eldritch horror things. And let's see. Oh, this is the keeper screen. So these are the character figures. So just silhouettes, which is actually a nice touch. I like the fact that there's silhouettes. There seems to be handouts here as well. So a variety of handouts. Quite a bit of them, actually. Gosh, there's got to be about, I'd say about 50 handouts. So let's start putting these back in this direction. So I have here the keeper screen. So let's see what this layout is like. All right, so this is a 3-panel keeper screen. So you have ranged weapons, damage reminder, so melee weapons, damage bonuses, the monster table, right in the center panel, the spell list, sanity results, Institutional Disasters, Typical San Lessons, Cthulhu Mythos, and Books of the Mythos. So we will put there with nice, very cultish looking thing and pretty awesome art. Cool stuff. So let's see, we have the second Cthulhu Companion, Fragments of Fear. So this is probably a series of shorter adventures, I'm guessing. Or perhaps it's just, let's see if it's a, yeah, it looks like it's, actually just looks like it's information. African animals. All right, so there's some nemesis, so short stories and short adventures. Yeah. So just as I thought, so kind of like a combination of a little bit of lore and some new creatures and some very short adventures. So that's cool. So we have the Trail of Sagathuga by Keith Herber. All right, so these are going to be by the original, the original authors, obviously. And so this is an adventure. This work is respectfully dedicated to Edgar Allan Poe. All right, and so it's edited by Sandy Peterson. Map renderings are by Mike Bloom. The layout is by Tashi Ahura. Playtesting by Chris Allen, Wilkie Collins, Josh Garrett, Eric Herber, Sharon Herber. Illustrations by Steve Purcell. Typesetting by Teresa Griffin, and proofreading by Lynn Willis. So this came out in 1984 for, not sure which edition. I don't know when the third edition of Call of Cthulhu came out. But looks cool. I'm going to go through these one by one. So ghastly adventures and erudite lore. So each book so far looks like it comes with a certain amount of lore. And then, so this is 1981. And so this is the Cthulhu Companion again. And there is source sections of it. And I will go through each of these, as I break them down, without spoilers. That's always been one of my favorite stories. So it was just called The Ghoul, and there was a short adventure in the original rule book that dealt with a small tomb and the ghoul sitting on the tomb, and that was like one of your earliest encounters with with an eldritch horror, and just really cool stuff here. I mean, the layouts of everything, back then, very, very simple, just like a simple map, and then just, the different characters that can be encountered there, and just descriptions. And here we have various ambush sites and such with this particular mini adventure. Looks like several adventures in each booklet so far. And then some poetry to finish it off. A sanity quiz. If you read all the words below, you should roll for a D3 sanity loss. Actually, many of these Cthulhuid descriptions were used by H.P. Lovecraft in his writings and can be useful to gatekeepers. So these are all of the many, many, many different adjectives H.P. Lovecraft used in his Cthulhu mythos. Wow, that's really cool. The Strange High House in the Mist. You can actually print this out, and I guess you can cut it out and then create a 3D, foldable puzzle of it. So we have Shadows of Yog-Sothoth. And let's see, this one was originally copywritten in, let's see. This is 82. All right, so this one came out in 82. And I remember this. I remember having these, that in that particular one. And the Asylum, remember this one as well. And the Asylum was 83. So really a lot in this box set. I mean, it's just tremendous. To buy the originals of these, you would probably spend close to $300 to get all of them. The fact that you can get the reprint, and get all of this stuff in here for $120 is really a bargain. And I will actually get the character sheets, and because they were underneath this, and then there. So, and now I'll try to get those dice back in there. Things never go back to the same way they were, but actually it did. So, and that's why it's the 2-inch box version of it to hold, all of those different books. And wow, really surprising how fast it came again, and really excited about it. So when will I have time to play this? I got to see what's coming up in the near future. Let me shift views here. So yeah, I have my AD&D game tomorrow night. We did, in fact, miss out a week due to my being on vacation, so we weren't able to make it up. So we are no longer at 55 consecutive weeks. We are in week 56, but we're doing 50. We're into our 55th session, so I can still hold on to that. That hey, you know what? 55 sessions is not bad at all, and in 56 weeks. So unfortunately, we couldn't get the streak going, but I'm itchy from my sunburn, and so that's going. And then I'm looking to start in about 2 or 3 weeks a Castles and Crusades campaign. I have a ton of players looking to play in it, so I'm certainly going to have the 7. I think I have probably closer to 12 people looking to play. I'm going to start with 7, and then maybe the other 5 I'll do as a side campaign, or possibly have the players kind of rotate in and out. Whoever's there will run something each time, and and they can rotate in and out as needed. Or I'll do 2 sessions of it and just have 2 separate groups. And so a third place and time where if I do have 3 game sessions a week someplace will likely be some Call of Cthulhu. Try to roll this one out and get some players involved. I'm sure I will. It shouldn't be hard, especially if a lot of people are getting this box set now because the Kickstarter has been fulfilled. So I think that it'll be pretty easy to find a lot of people willing to put down 7th edition and roll out 2nd edition here and play it out for a while. At least run through some of those some of those adventures, and then I have the Arkham book that came out for 3rd edition. So I'll bust that out too for some of the shorter adventures that were in there as well. Call of Cthulhu is not like you do long campaigns because the characters either go insane or they die or they just give up and run away, far away, to get away from the stuff. So that's the one good thing about Call of Cthulhu, is that you don't think of campaigns as being these long-lasting kind of things. That's usually one adventure and you're done, because those characters are typically ruined or dead. So, but we'll see. I think it's a few rare cases where characters last, 2 or 3 adventures. I've never experienced more than that with any group of characters. They usually lose too much sanity going from one to the next anyway. So, once again, thanks for joining. I hope you liked this video. I will spend a little bit more time with each of the books. Maybe I'll do a comparison between 2nd edition and 7th edition, so that you kind of see how the mechanics, have evolved over time. And I think that you'll probably see the charm that older editions often have over the newer editions. But the newer editions, especially Call of Cthulhu, it's very highly rated as being a game system that's still rock solid. I've never heard anyone say anything really negative about 7th edition. And that's a shout out to Sandy Peterson and Chaosium Games for keeping the core of their game still going 40 years later, and it still has that same essence, even though like I said, it is 40 years old, and players are still appreciating the same kind of experience with it as they did all the way back to the early 80s as well. So as always, thanks for joining. Hope you liked this video, and I look forward to seeing you on a gaming screen sometime soon. As I was mentioning earlier, I'm starting Castles and Crusades campaign, and I already have 2 people that came from the, watching these videos and saying, hey, I really want to get in on, one of your games. And so, yeah, just watching these videos and commenting, and if you see anything that you want to jump in on one of my games, just throw me a little tag in there, and I will reach out to you, and we'll make arrangements for you to join the Discord channel, and then get you into one of the games that I happen to be running. So as always, have a great rest of your week. Look forward to your weekend coming up. If you're in the New York area, weather's going to be kind of muggy the next couple of days, so stay safe with that. And as always, just keep on gaming out there. Keep mixing it up. All right. Keep on playing different games out there. Mix it up with genres. Mix it up with game companies, and don't get stagnated into just one genre, one particular game. It's one of the best ways to keep your mind fresh when you're playing role-playing games, is to mix it up a lot, and to get experience running different kinds of games, or playing in different types of games and genres and such. It's certainly, I think, the best thing that you can do if you want to get the most out of the tabletop role-playing hobby that you can. So get off my soapbox there, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.